What's going on, YouTube? Happy Friday to those of you who have been waiting on it. I got an interesting topic today, and it's a question, and I want to start it off like this. I would think now that my subscribers who are on here now have heard of Robert Kiyasaki, who the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and have also heard of Dave Ramsey. So my question is to you, or it was actually posed to me, and I'm going to answer it, my opinion, is what financial advice who should you follow financial advice from? Robert Kiyasaki or Dave Ramsey? Now, that's an interesting question because both of these guys are great financial advisors. They definitely have some interesting things. And when I started off in this financial road, the first financial book I've ever read was Rich Dad Poor Dad. That started the whole thing. And it was some great things in that book, you know. But here's what I've noticed, all right? I had never, when I first started Rich Dad Poor Dad, I had never heard of Dave Ramsey and heard his philosophy or anything. Didn't hear anything about it, you know. And Kiyosaki has some great principles. But here's my advice. If you are starting out and this is your first time ever starting investing or trying to just be better with money, I think Dave Ramsey is who you should start off with. I'm going to tell you why. I think anything that you do in life should have a strong foundation. You know, if a house doesn't have a strong foundation, it's a weak house. Same thing with money, you know. And here's the thing. A lot of times with money, we try to rush, right? And we try to get to the top at the beginning, you know. And I don't think that's a smart choice. Dave Ramsey, like for instance, I'll give you a couple of his baby steps. His baby step number 1, he has these steps that he has you take in order to reach financial freedom. And his whole philosophy is being debt free. Okay, number 1, he says that you should have $1,000 in your emergency fund. A lot of you guys right now are using credit cards to fund your emergencies, and that's expensive because you have your emergency, then you pay interest on your emergency, then another emergency happens and you're paying for 2. So he says $1,000 emergency fund. Then Dave Ramsey also says step number 2 is that you pay your bills off, all your bills, minus your mortgage, from beginning to end. And meaning by beginning to end, from smallest to largest, right? And number 3, he says build your emergency fund up to 6 to 8 months expenses to take care of that. But I would say right now in these times, I would say build it up to a year. What it costs you to live a year, that's what you should save up in your bank account. And he has other steps after that. And then 15% of your income should start saving into a mutual fund. And then you try to tackle college fund and pay off your home as soon as possible. Now, with Kiyosaki, he's a little different. He's for the more savvy investor. And this is why I say this. I had never heard the concept of passive income until I started reading Kiyosaki's books. And passive income, guys, is one of the most powerful tools in finance I think that exists today. I'll tell you why. Just imagine, like, I'll give you an example. We're creating an investment group right now. And like I said, we're thinking of going in the mall. And then after that, we have another system that we may implement right after that. But none of us are working. The thing, we're on the phone, we're talking, we're going to hire someone else to make these things happen. And we're going to collect from that. That's passive income. None of us are working. And we're getting money from someone else's sweat, you know. And Kiyosaki says one of the best ways to have passive income is real estate, by purchasing a piece of property and having someone pay you rent, and you continue to get that rent through time. That's passive income, you know. Or a internet kiosk, a DVD machine, whatever. Anything without you physically going there doing something is passive income. But one thing I will say with Kiyosaki is that I don't like the part where he actually borrows to purchase a home or a second home. Because a lot of people that I hear on Dave Ramsey actually call Dave Ramsey's show. They're in their home now, right? And they're paying that mortgage. And then they decide, oh, you know what? I'll get a second mortgage on my home, use that for a down payment, and I'll go ahead and get another home. So now they're paying rent, but when they when the renter that they have in leaves the property, or a job loss or something happens, then they're stuck with that home, and then they have to short sale and they get in all kinds of trouble. This is why I say one should take their time with finance. When you get through all of Dave Ramsey's steps, then maybe you can look into Kiyasaki's system of real estate and things of that nature. You know, it's not for the average guy. The average guy would get burned easily, you know. So I kind of take the good and the bad from both systems. Like some people say that Dave Ramsey doesn't know much when it comes to investing, because if you really look at it, his process is simple. Get a mutual fund, stick with that mutual fund for your life. You know, find a mutual fund that on average has been paying 12 to 15% or more on the investment, and find that mutual fund and stick with it. You know, that's kind of it. Where Kiyasaki has a more creative approach when it comes to making income. Like, this is another thing I like about Kiyasaki. And this is where a lot of people mess up too. Kiyasaki says this: hey, if you want a new car, don't take from your regular income that's coming in. Why don't you do this? Why don't you create a business, right, that's going to bring in that amount that you're looking for a car payment every month, and use that to pay for your car payment? Which in itself is a brilliant idea, because now you're not taking from your purse, and you're not, you know, reducing your lifestyle. You actually created more income to get something that you actually want. And I think the people should actually do that with savings. If you say, look, I can only save $150 a month, create a business, create some income on the side, and let's say you get $1,000 a month from that. Take $800 of that and put it in savings. Now you've created savings. So I borrow from both systems, you know, and I still from time to time go back and read some of Kiyasaki's things. And I'm telling you guys, a good game. And I lost my startup CD. You know, I love this game with a passion. It's the cash flow game. I haven't got cash flow 202, but I would love to get that, you know. But if anyone, you know, no, I don't want to do any piracy or anything like that. But hit me up on the side if you have that 202. But anyways, I love these games because they're cash flow 101 game. Is you're buying properties, you're buying restaurants, you're buying these things, and they give you all these financial questions, everyday life type things, and it puts you on that level of an advanced investor, you know. So if you guys don't have that game, I recommend Cash Flow 101. Start a Cash Flow 101 club. It's actually probably a good way. That's what I should be doing to find better friends. Friends that would love playing that game probably could be my friends. So I'm going to ask you guys, who do you like? Dave Ramsey, Robert Kiyosaki? Who's your favorite financial advisor? Have you ever heard of them? This could be a chance for you to go out and actually get their books and find out who they actually are. But who would you recommend right now with the situation you're in right now? Or even tell us, hey, I've used Robert Kiyosaki's system and I'm successful now. Or I've used Dave Ramsey's system. I want to get the answer from you. So if you guys like the topics that I'm talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Well, I'd love to have you. And until next time, guys, signing off.